G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Bonsai Works. I'm David. Today I have one of my project trees, and I've shown you this tree a few times on my channel. It's a bit of a monster. It's been with me a while now, and it's actually predominantly a Juniper spermata foliage. At the top you can still see the Juniper spermata foliage at the top. It's quite coarse, prickly, it's a bluish colour. So the last 4 years or so I have been slowly approach grafting Shimpaku Juniper onto it. You can see I've got 3 more pots here. I've got 3 more grafts I'm doing at the moment. 2 are looking incredibly strong and positive and should come off probably this next growing season, and I've got one that's still growing but it's not as strong as the other ones, so that will hopefully another couple of years. But I've got 2 are re-established, and I've taken off the pots and so on, and I've got 2 that are almost ready for the pots to come off, and 1 more. So I'll have 5 approach grafts onto this tree, and then I'll be able to get rid of all of this ugly spermata foliage, which is really prickly. You can't even touch it, it's so prickly. Has these dieback issues and stuff like that. So you can probably just see there's this bit. This is the new kind of approach graft that I put on. It's quite nice and bendy and flexible. I'll be definitely bending that down more and getting this tree smaller. I want the tree to be probably in here with lots of dead wood and so on. You got the 2 light veins here, which look good. A couple of the initial ones they're in here at the moment, and I'm bending them down and twisting them around to really contort and be around the main tree and main trunk, showing off all this beautiful deadwood and so on. But that's just the story of the tree. What I really want to do is, I haven't repotted this tree in, if I can't remember, that means it's been more than 10 years. So I'm actually trying to give it a bit of a head start, getting the roots, getting the tree healthy. It's starting to, for me, it's starting to be a bit like maybe a bit too weak in terms of, because it probably needs a soil change. The soil is also now very mushy, so you can tell it's time to actually get it repotted. As I said, I want to probably get it now to the point where it's going to be almost in its final kind of roots area, final kind of approach to get into just having the Juniper Shimpaku foliage on there. So a bit of a thing where I have to keep the tree healthy while still trying to put the grafts on, get the grafts to go well, and so on. But other than that, yeah, it's really about me repotting this tree, just going through the process of doing that. But you can see the project that I've got, and I have a lot of people ask me when I sell my trees, because they don't realise, they go, why are you selling such nice trees and so on? Well, I've got other things like big projects that I'm working on which should become even better. And with it being in a very limited spot, I don't have a nursery like a lot of other YouTube channels and stuff. I'm just a backyard grower, like most of you. I'm just in a small courtyard. I don't even have a big yard. So I really have to get narrow down what trees I can have in my yard. And then that's why I have to move things on. But this is such a good project tree that, you know, this is amazing. Got the 2 live veins there, which look perfect. All these deadwood features and so on. And once I remove that spermata foliage and have the tree contorted into here and around here, it's going to look amazing. Like, I can just see it's going to be an amazing tree. So anyway, I've got to get the roots looking good, looking strong and healthy, and that's what I'm going to do today. Bit of a lip in this pot, so really it's a bit of a tricky one to repot easily. It doesn't come out, so I really have to get my root hook. This is a really good tool, and really just try and scrape around the edge. And as I said, this is broken. This mix is probably broken down so much that it's just kind of really organic now almost. So it's not the best. So that's what I really need to get it back into my nice open mix. Get this organicness out of it. I've got too much roots as well. Probably gone right around the pot. It's going to be a nasty one. Luckily, it just fits in the roof, so I can be able to spin this around quite a bit. But it's a bit of a process, this tree. It's not the lightest in weight. It's quite a heavy tree, of course. So I really try and scrape around the edge first, because I need to get as much of that soil and roots out of there as possible. And yeah, it's incredibly organic now. That's not good. That's not good. So good time to do it. And it's nice and early here in spring. Well, it's still officially winter, but we've had such an early dose of spring. We've got things waking up way too early already. So it's a good time to do the junipers. Okay, that took me quite a bit of effort to get it out of that pot. It's pretty dense and organic, as I mentioned. I don't even know what mix I have this in. It's quite different. Probably could have been diatomite. There's no pumice in here, so this is quite a while ago that I had this repotted. I will need to now really look at combing everything out. Try. Probably have to wash this root base, because I want to get all this organic out of it as much as I can anyway. Anything that's broken, any roots that are damaged, a bit of water, dying on me. So I will try and comb as much out of it. I prefer to comb rather than just cut straight out. Combing out, really actually you start to see where things are happening and what can get rid of and so on. So there's like old roots there that are just sticking up out of nowhere, so they kind of go in the wrong direction. You start to eliminate stuff like that. By doing this, you're actually really focusing on the roots of the tree. And if you've got the time, because this is going to take quite a bit of time, you really comb out the organic, get rid of all the grass and weeds as well when you see them. So quite a bit of work here, trying to comb this out. But in the end, it should be better for the tree. And that's the most important thing for the health of the tree. So I'm just going to continually go around and comb all this out and get rid of all this organic mix. But it's a heavy tree. And it took a lot out of me to just get it out of the pot because of the lip in the pot. It's actually quite hard to do. But we'll get there. Alright, I'm just going to keep working away and we'll come back. So I'm having actually to this, in this case, I have to actually, it was so dense, I'm actually combing and cutting at the same time. Usually I have to comb, but there's only so much you can comb on this tree. It's just too much roots over the years. Probably don't leave your tree that many years before you get to repot, especially such a strong growing tree. So I'm having to detangle and then cut as I go. And it's really quite cumbersome, this tree. So I just want to quickly show you that I had to do both. I did use the root hook for a while, and now I've got most of it detangled, but now I'm just going through and cleaning up where I need to. Alright, that was a lot of work. Had to do a lot of washing the roots. Really got in there. There was actually, this whole bit's dead off, and there was all this old soil from when it probably was in the ground. That's many years ago. Still buried in there. This is a nice bit to expose in the future, just as the dead wood. Maybe there's a different change of angle eventually too, but I had to just get it all over here. I already prepped the pot. I should say. Probably lots of roots I got to tuck in, but I did quite a bit of a root reduction underneath. There's a layer of soil underneath in here. Now it's just a matter of tying the tree in, getting soil in and tying the tree in. I do need to fill it up a little bit with more soil before I tie it in. I want it to be very solid. Now as I'm working through, I always look for like weed, and anything looks like a weed. Usually they're light coloured, little roots, but that was hard work. I'll have to put the more soil in and get it settled into the right spot. So a lot of work. If you leave the tree too long, that repotting is a lot of work to catch up and get it looking healthy again. See, like little white roots there, they're weeds. Just want to eliminate as much of that as I can, so I don't want them to be growing all year. And so on. Okay, I'm going to get more soil, top it up, and work it all in with the chopstick, and we'll see how it looks. So I pretty much completed the repot. Now into my nice open mix. This tree should power on. I don't think there's any issues. There's lots of roots left on this tree. The old roots were just circled around. It's hard to get rid of them. Don't leave it for so long to repot your trees, even if they're this big. This one, I'm pretty sure would have been probably 10 to 15 years since I've repotted it. So that's why I had a lot of issues with the soil being so dense and compact and organic. So that's probably a bit too long. But I think this tree was more me experimenting with silent grafting, which didn't work on this tree, but approach grafting did. It takes a bit longer because the tree is much older. It's not a young tree, it's a very old tree. And it's only got 2 live veins here that I'm trying to work with to try and get the approach grafts to happen on. So this is looking good. That's a nice one happening right there. So that's going to be this branch here. I've already got one over here. I've got some at the back coming out the back. This one's coming out from the back. So it's really, I want to get really compact. I've got a nice low one. You can probably just see it through here. Low one to fill in this negative space in here. So eventually I want a much more compact tree around these gins and shari, really exposing the tree. So now it's just a matter of, I'll put this back in the same spot in the garden, water it and leave it alone, and just feed it through the growing season. So there you go guys, a big job, but it's a nice project that I'm working on, and hopefully you see lots of it in the future. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.